Greetings. This is a PSA on behalf of the TCHOUMA Nation. I am Deputy Chief Hoposia Talako-Luxi of the TCHOUMA Nation.
I am Council Chief Shakoba Luxi.
I am Principal Chief Aishioba Luxi.
Rear Chief Mbuku Luxi.
We are here to address a few issues that came up in the recent past, but it is a shame that it has come to this, that we've had to make this public service announcement. For those who don't know and those who assume to know what is going on within the TCHOUMA. We are a nation of substance, facts, truths, and progression. No room for antics, fraudulent claims, nor hearsay from outside parties who aren't in the progressive state of mind and are willing to offer help to progress a nation of Aboriginal brothers and sisters. It has come to the attention of the nation that there are misleading assumptions and accusations brought forward to innocent tribal members of the nation in the form of harassment, and is not in the realms of being diplomatic at all. First thing I'd like to address is the minding of other people's, well, nations, in this case, business. First of all, the TCHOUMA Nation's business is the TCHOUMA Nation's business within its own jurisdiction, apart from the U.S. government, in which you can look up and find out for yourself since it has come to this. The TCHOUMA has had nothing to say regarding anyone else's tribe and our nation and how it was formed, functioned, and are built, which may need to be revisited. Needless to say, it's better to think before opening your mouths or prepping your fingers to type any illegitimate comments or messages regarding someone else's business, nation, and or tribal members of said nation if it isn't your own. Explain, what does it matter to you? Being that we are consumed in building a functioning nation for Aboriginal Americans and or American Indians, we are more than happy to express our excitement or progress via any platform we so choose. However, what we will not allow is the behind-the-back bashing, slick talking, in efforts to divert or destroy the momentum of a nation that is actually here to help the indigenous peoples of America. We are here to assist in correcting the status of all classified indigenous Americans, not just the ones we feel deserves or just want to because it sounds good, or of any particular person's following like other people, groups, and our tribes have. That's not who we are, nor what we stepped out to do, and continue to strive to do so. Can the exact same thing be said about your movement or nation or tribe? Are you all helping others to get where they need to be, or are you just sitting around trolling others who have voice, the will, want, determination, and regaining correct status on this land? We are, and we shall continue to do so. We don't pick and choose who we share information with or educate persons on how the voluntary actions and consents you agree to bounds you to certain rules, laws, and our codes. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Everything that has been put in place on record has been put in place on behalf of the TCHOUMA Nation. Not anyone else. You can also look that up for yourself. We've been here, our people, and we are here, the TCHOUMA Nation, to help our people in its entirety, from adopting and showing each person how to repatriate and regain all of the natural birth rights. Can say the same about all the other groups outside of TCHOUMA Nation and its affiliate nations, but what I can say is that we are one of the few nations that will actually help you achieve what's needed to be put in place through instruction and education. The TCHOUMA is an active and progressively growing nation with evidence to prove legitimate inquiries, not for who say what we are or who we aren't. There are numbers that you can look up before you open your mouths to engage in bashing dialogue to a member of said nation. The heads of the nation are available to reach, contact, and inquire about any concerns of the TCHOUMA Nation's business. The pettiness of other supposedly Aboriginal leaders who rant about uniting, helping the people, taking a stand for injustices, and the birthright benefits that should be available to all indigenous people is so off the wall, and an opportunity for the TCHOUMA Nation to disclose what forced the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas Nation to create and form its own nation presented itself. The constant harassment of tribal members is unacceptable, and in which called for this PSA. What makes you think you have any knowledge or say so in the formation, structure, or business of the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas? What business of the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas is thwarting any of your business? I can guarantee you that it's nothing. Where is it that the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas is in any way, shape, or form jeopardizing anything or any business of yours? For those of you who are and call yourself intending to do so, the same by trying to discredit the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas Nation, to specifically name who has harassed the nation, any member, are as follows: Chief Elwin Warhorse Gillum, Tony Tomahawk, Phoenix Moon, participants of FANA, a FB group by the name, a Facebook group by the name of Genealogy of Americas. And this goes for anyone or any group who feels the need or have the audacity to criticize, bash, or try to invalidate any member, business, or functions of the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas Nation and any nations that are aligned in any union with the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas. All groups and our names listed are in fact parties that have tried to stop progression of this nation for their own personal reasons. To this date, we have communicated our interests, signed roles for and within tribe, shown what was needed to be shown to successfully repatriate and enrolled into birthright tribes, and have had no progress towards helping people of said nation or tribe. Now it comes to the nation that most of the same individuals who know of our history and connections to this territory will not even help. Members don't even get the much needed help and assistance that should be given to your quote unquote family. You got I know you're lying in all your information, but never show or guide you to the information in reference. You got I've seen who your tribe is associated with, and I have had bad dealings with this person or that person with no result, but must have the knowledge of what is being done. Nevertheless, shows no sign of help, advice towards the bad dealings reference they are referenced. Again, your business is not the business of the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas Nation. There is no need for anyone to speak on behalf of the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas Nation without consulting or inquiring information from the correct sources. As we all do have the right to sustain and self-govern ourselves, it was a forced decision to build our own, being that family won't enlighten its own people, discuss the needs of its people, have any plans of action, make it a necessity to make sure the people of its nation is well secured and protected. None of the above mentioned parties have offered, instilled, or shared any knowledge as to how to progress in forming our own nation based from the original Constitution for the people, and not the Congressional Constitution created to control, manipulate, and manage the property, also known as citizen, individual, or person, which is also in the book, How Many Cholas Would Notify Their People of that fact, and that's just the tip of an iceberg. As for the criticism, some of the criticism was made due to our progress, who we are in contact with, last but definitely not least, the moves that are being made, met, and achieved. None of the criticism changed any facts that have been put on record, in which you can look up also. Do your due diligence. And if you don't know, you need to ask somebody within the governing ranks of the TCHOUMA Choupitoulas Nation, as we shall know how and what to respond to. Everybody wants to have something to say, but don't and can't say it to the people who it should be directed to. Everybody has something negative to say about this effective and progressive movement, without no resolution, no options to take based on their concerns, no definitive reason or answer as to why they felt a need to reach out to any member of the TCHOUMA Nation. Are you a member of the TCHOUMA Nation? Then why is it any of your business what takes place within the TCHOUMA Nation? Stay within your jurisdiction, as it is not in the jurisdiction of the TCHOUMA Nation. Keep the nation's name in your mouth unless it is an uplifting or positive notion. Nothing you can say can change the fact that we are here and have been here. Otherwise, sit back and take a gander at a nation as well as other nations taking a stand for all Aboriginal in their respective regions. Negativity isn't welcome. Everybody isn't the same, and businesses aren't the same. We are not the same. With that being said, whatever business dealings or agreements that you or any other party has had without the participation of the TCHOUMA Nation, that is how you should leave it. Your business, not any of the TCHOUMA business. Unless you have recognized something the nation is doing wrong and you have the ability to advise them and steer them in the direct direction, it is your business. Not near one person, group, nation, clan, and or tribe has done this. Is it that you don't want to help? You'd rather tear down another nation of the same land by trying to discredit it? Secondly, since you have so much to say to members of another nation outside of yours, what has been done to you for you to feel the need to call any member of the TCHOUMA Nation and just express the concern of bad business that you may have had with a consultant of ours, TCHOUMA, which we had nothing to do with? No one has offered, expressed, or negotiated any resolution to progress and or the needs that are needed by the nation. Better yet for the Aboriginal American Indians in our region. To this day, no one, and I mean no one, has contacted, reached out to any of the heads of the TCHOUMA Nation in effort to show, help, or enlighten us as to how to move as a nation, except for TCHOUMA, simply because the opportunity came at the right time and it was only divine intervention that brought him into our life. And would, should I, all right. TCHOUMA, how the relationship between, the business relationship between TCHOUMA and the TCHOUMA Nation was formed. Before the forming of the TCHOUMA Nation, we've been in search, we've been trying to trace our lines, we've been trying to join established tribes and everything, but here in Louisiana, we've ran into closed doors, closed mouths here, closed mouth there, with all with the said chiefs knowing of our lineage. So through the internet, came across NAAIP, directed by TCHOUMA, applied for cards in guise of getting with that organization, getting the foundation of what we need to do to progress. Make a long story short, from the beginning, we did not hear from TCHOUMA for
years since 2015. We filled out everything and sent it off, and the same thing that happened with a lot of other people happened with us. We didn't get no calls, we didn't get no messages or anything. And at that time, what could we do? We couldn't get in contact. Nobody got in contact with us. So all we did, what we could do, was just keep moving forward. We wasn't going to sit around and wait for anybody. We continue to do what we need to do for us and our people.
All right. All right. So the opportunity arose when a now deputy chief of one of our sister nations gave us a call and notified us that we were sought out by TCHOUMA because he knew that we were in this region and heard that we were without the IDs in which we applied for. Myself and the council chief met up with TCHOUMA to square away things, whether it was our money back or what we paid for. Through discussions and heated arguments, the ID situation was squared away. Then the needs of our people were mentioned, dealing with unlawful police activity, and dealing with child custody issues, and as well as human rights violations all around. So with those points being made, we had an extended discussion right after the heated argument, and it extended into the next day. Services were offered, services were agreed to,
Services were rendered.
services were rendered.
And excuse me, Deputy Chief, we had our receipts. We had receipts that we presented to him to let him know that we had paid for this service to be rendered. Go ahead, Deputy Chief.
Okay, and through the initial consultation, we and the discrepancies that we were faced with current tribes at that time. The concept of a nation was born due to incompetence and or lack of supposed or proposed leadership. To this day, everything that has been paid for pertaining to consulting and or instruction has been seen through. If you have something to say regarding the business of TCHOUPITOULAS Nation, get in touch with the right personnel and make sure you are coming correct. Don't come sideways to plug in your illegitimate feelings based off your business dealings, personal vendettas, or hearsay about anyone that we may have mutual business dealings with. If you cannot address the person in which whom you have a problem with to resolve any issues that you have with them and can't effectively resolve your problem, don't bring that to the TCHOUPITOULAS Nation or any of its members. The TCHOUPITOULAS Nation isn't a mediation ground for your problems, especially when the problem at hand doesn't involve the nation. We are here to build, not tear down. And this is where it gets kind of interesting. Approximately about 9 to 10 years ago, Chief Mbukulusalukse was sent for to come down way to Chifonka, Bonfuka, by Chief Elwin Gillum to serve as ambassador for the Chata Bayou Lacombe tribe, based in Slidell, known as based in Bonfaka, known as Slidell, all the way from Austin, Texas, where Chief Mbuku and his family were displaced due to Katrina. Once in Bonfaka, after finding a home, things gradually revealed itself. Slandering of her supposed ambassador's wife, in which whom she referenced in a statement made in a Times-Picayune interview. Neville is a strong family man with a strong wife and family ties, attributes needed to build a strong nation. To choose an ambassador, I knew it had to be a strong-willed person. That's why he is the ambassador, Chief Elwin Gillum. If you are of Indian descent, then you are Indian, Chief Elwin Gillum. Neville will help restore the connection to what has been lost. With really no assignments given, all that Chief Mbuku Lucy could offer was uplifting her in conversation and whatever he could accommodate that she asked of. It is documented and published all of her referencing as Chief Mbuku as the ambassador for TCHOUMA, for the Bayou-Lacombe tribe. All you have to do is search Cyril Neville ambassador, and you should see for yourself. After enlightenment of being family and what you had planned for your coming out of exile ceremony, we were not aware of your presence at all before a former tribal member of yours who has since left that tribe called and notified Cyril Neville is being sought out to be ambassador. Soon after, approximately 3 to 4 months after relocating back to Louisiana, it was evident that you had a problem with his wife and how he addressed her as queen, in which he still does reference her as being above all women.
In his eyes.
In his eyes. Once down here, it was evident to see the real person why he was asked to come down here. Standing in his stand. Once down here, it was evident to see the real reason why he was asked to come down here. His standing in community, his entertainment, and what could a chief can benefit from? Not the people. Not one plan as to health, education, functioning economy, or means of sustainability for the tribe was established nor conveyed.
Can I interject? And most of all, money. Most people, when they hear Neville, they think, oh, they have money. And this is what Chief Gilliam's, this is what she was driven by, and this is what she's still driven by, money. She thought that we were going to bring money and fame to her to help her do whatever it is that she's doing down there, because we still don't know. That was the issue. So now that's why we were forced to repatriate on our own, because there was no progress. We've literally been here 10 years, and TCHOUMA was just erected when?
6 months ago.
Okay, 10 years we've been here. We uprooted our lives to come from Austin. I wasn't coming back to New Orleans. We was not coming back to New Orleans. We were going to stay in Austin. We were going to build our life in Austin. She's the reason we came back. So if we're that disingenuous, 10 years later, we're still here. And only 6 months ago did we decide to erect TCHOUMA. So what does that say?
Thank you. Then once realized that the reason for coming down here wasn't truthful to the extent of doing for the people with disregard of the needs of families within the tribe, along with actions of no concern of its people. The slandering of your supposedly former ambassador's family, of whom you know is of Indian descent, in a radio interview isn't of royal posture. Definitely not of someone who sought help. gave a title to, with no lick of expectations, function, or instruction of such position.
And got money from.
Signed the rolls.
And got
paid
money from.
dues. Yes.
Dues, all the entertainment as well. We do not know, nor have the will to know the inner workings of your tribe.
Or care to know.
We weren't privy to any of it at all. Wasn't trying to find out because it was evident that something else was taking place within the organization. Lies have been told with one of the greatest weapons used to spread, the radio. If it weren't for friends that heard the interview or stumbled across it, we would have not known or heard about it. Once privy to it and heard it, it was unbelievable what the family was being accused of. Side note, and it definitely was unbelievable because we are literally down the street.
I had to say something. This really is something that is so unnecessary and it's painful at the same time because I didn't just pop up down there. Like I said, I was summoned. So for it to have gotten to this really is basically going against everything that I thought I was coming down there for. And this is an opportunity here to let everybody know that nothing is going to stop us from seeking what we have been seeking. We're going to continue. We have not, one time have we ever said anything negative about anybody, especially in public. So we would expect everybody else to treat us the same way we treat them. You know, if you don't really want to deal with us, don't. But don't slander us either. You know, I mean, we're really loving and peaceful people, but we don't accept bullying.
All right.
Well stated.
Yes.
Okay. The stealing of land. Please list whose land is being stolen. We'll wait. Who isn't of Indian descent? We'll wait. Who isn't a real tribe? We'll also wait for that too. If you don't know, don't assume. If you doubt, ask. If you don't have any positive comments, advice, or guidance aside from what is being done, I respectfully ask you leave the TCHOUMA Nation and its members out of your conversations and or discussions if it isn't in a positive light.
Can I interject also? What is also really disheartening and really heartbreaking is that other people who look like us is doing this. It's other people who look like us who is doing this, but you have $5 Indians collecting millions upon millions of dollars. These people are literally picking up the phone, calling chiefs, trying to check their lineage. Are y'all calling them white folks checking their lineage?
We'll wait.
Y'all not calling around them, and they get millions of dollars. We not getting millions of dollars based upon our members. We are really on the ground working. We really on the ground working, and it's disheartening that people who look like us, who claim that they love us, is doing this.
Bashing.
But not once
Bully.
are y'all calling any of those $5 Indians trying to find out what their lineage is. But y'all calling people who look like y'all, who y'all know are really American Indian. My blood type is O, if we want to really be real about it. But y'all not calling them, questioning them about their lineage, and they making bank off of our identity.
Culture.
I
Heritage.
said a few minutes ago, this is totally unnecessary, and it's the same type of thing that allowed the invaders to get away with what they got away with in the first place. And we are supposed to be trying to rectify that. But like I said, you know, we're going to continue to do what we set out to do.
May I say something? As principal chief, I have been doing my lineage for 7 years, and what made me go do my lineage, because I asked Chief Elwyn Gilliam what lineage I was, and she said I descended from slaves. What kind of chief would tell somebody that instead of trying to help them find their people, knowing that I'm old, knowing that I'm indigenous, what kind of chief will tell you that? So we've never did her anything. It seems like she has a vendetta against us.
Oh, we're not going to talk about how she, with his situation.
That's
That's
a whole
video.
Yeah. But as we are here today, the TCHOUMA Nation is an active and moving progressive nation. And you can also take this with y'all. Everybody has rights. It's up to you on which rights and how you exercise them. And also the other persons, groups, or individuals that were mentioned in this PSA, Phoenix Moon, Tony Tomahawk, all of y'all. I can say none of y'all have contacted any of these chiefs with the concerns and talking that y'all brought to members of our nation as a whole.
And what's so insulting, as I might say, I called Phoenix Moon to speak with her and to explain everything. I called Tony Tomahawk to speak with them and explain everything. I called Two Hawks to speak with them, never got a phone call back. So we have been trying to reach out to all nations.
To all people.
You actually put your lineage online. This is what this provoked. But we don't really have nothing to prove to nobody.
And sidebar, in March of this year, I went to New York and reached out to Phoenix Moon and asked her to breakfast and got a response of she was hungover. That's why she couldn't come to breakfast. So my thing is, you had an opportunity to talk to, you've spoken with me over the phone, you've spoken with my mom over the phone. You have my mom's number, but you decided to call around to other members instead of calling the people who you need to call to talk to about. What I still don't understand and understand is, what is the TCHOUMA doing that is bothering y'all? What it seems like to me is the up north Indians don't want the South Indians to claim who they are. That's what it looked like to me. Because if it wasn't a problem, what could have gone on was y'all, everybody who hear this about the TCHOUMA hear that about the TCHOUMA. We all over social media. We're not hiding. We're not hiding nothing that we doing. Everything that we do has been made public. It's not going to be public for long, so you get in while you can. Everybody, we are not hiding. We're public. So if y'all had the integrity that y'all claim y'all have, y'all would have reached out.
And if you're concerned about the Aboriginal people, why didn't you ask Chief Warhorse what she has done for her people, which is not my business?
It's still not a damn thing. How about that?
I've got to say again that this is totally unnecessary. This is the last time we're going to deal with this. I mean, I don't have time for this.
And we have nothing to prove.
You know, we got a lot of positive things we have accomplished by tending to our business. And we just ask everybody else to do the same. We are not in competition or in opposition to nobody. And that's all I got to say.
And this is the first and the last time that we are going to entertain the peasantry. Because that's what it is, pure peasantry.
And no solutions. Get to that.
Yes, this is the TCHOUMA Nation. There are consequences for all actions inadvertently advertently just be respectful of everybody's space, everybody's time, everybody's choices. If business is your business, then you have input. If said business has no concern of you, you should have ultimately nothing to say, unless it's in guise of help, instruction, gear, or guidance. Is there anything else?
One more thing. Everything that was said here tonight is the truth. So that the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be accepted in the eyes of the great spirit who moves through all things. We don't have nothing to hide. And we're not kicking at nobody. We're asking y'all to stop picking at us.
And we're about positivity, nothing else.
If you can't help, don't hurt. If you can't help, don't hurt.
Yeah, because if my thing is not one of y'all calling and saying, oh, we see y'all progressing, we see y'all doing this, how can we help? Maybe that energy would be better,
yes,
instead of what y'all doing.
Trying to say we're fake. None of y'all can say that, because everyone has a right to self-identify through ADRIP, ILO 169. Even I've heard it on your shows that everyone has a right to self-identify. So now we can't self-identify?
No, must only the Indians in the North can self-identify.
Thank you. This is one of one messages like this.
One and only. Yakoke.
Yakoke.
Yakoke.